Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have a very dear friend of mine I've known for a long time. We've worked together on some shows. He's got a long history of, well, I would say fitness and bodybuilding, acting, commercials, live events. I mean, he does a lot of stuff, and it's my pleasure to have Kevin Porter.
Thank you.
And we've talked about this for a while, and we finally got together.
Yeah. We've, I guess I've been at the same gym for, about 15 years now.
Right. But do you remember the first time we ever met?
Well, the first time we ever spoke was, I guess, at the Flues.com audition.
Exactly.
Is that right? Yeah.
I had photos of that. I don't know where they went. I had a nice selection of photos of those blocks you were standing in. They were on my other computer. I can't find them. I really would like to find those.
That was a good gig. It was a nice commercial.
It was okay. You know, there was an issue with Whoopi Goldberg.
Well, yeah, we weren't supposed to talk to Whoopi.
According to an AD, and I told him off.
Yeah.
I said that I can talk to anybody I want. I don't really think you are or she is, but...
I think you led the charge, and then Whoopi came out, and they were... and we were all principals. There was maybe 6 or 8 of us, and it was set up like laughing.
Yeah.
And so, out of the blue, Whoopi Goldberg comes out, and she says, listen, there's a rumor going around that nobody can speak to me. Do you remember that?
I do.
And she said, that's absolutely not true. Let's start talking right now. And she just hung out with us for the rest of the day.
Yeah. This guy said, he was like really rude about it. He said, don't talk to me like this or these people. We're here to work like everybody else.
Yeah. I remember we were both called in for bodybuilders. And we show up, and I think it was in Santa Monica.
Oh, that's a funny story.
And I guess you were dressed in your wrestling garb, and you said, "Well, I was calling in for a bodybuilder, but I'm not a bodybuilder." So I said, "I'll just bring a belt and be a wrestler." And I said, "Well, I'm not a bodybuilder either. I'm just a guy in decent shape." So I don't know what I don't have a wrestling thing to fall back on. So neither of us were chosen as bodybuilders. You were a wrestler, and I was I think, a gardener. I think I had like garden tools.
But you had something to do with the clothing.
I guess. I don't know.
It was it's the famous clothing brand.
Oh, you're right. It was like American Eagle or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. No, it's not that one. It's another one. It's a letter and a name, but I can't think of the name of it. No, I mean, I could have done a bodybuilding thing, but I told you, I think I'm sick of doing bodybuilding. Yeah. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm going to talk to them into doing wrestling. So I went into my gear and I took my belt. I said, there's no reason why you can't use me as a wrestler. And they looked at me and they said, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, you told me, you said, I'm going to talk them into hiring me as a bodybuilder.
Yeah, as a wrestler. And they changed the whole concept.
Yeah.
So I got the job that way. Were you bodybuilding then? You were working out?
I was just working out. That's never really, I've had too much respect for bodybuilders to even go into that arena, the work and the dedication.
Yeah.
And also, I never really wanted to be in that arena and acting.
Right.
Because I think that
it's limited.
Certain times it does limit you. So I've always been an actor a larger actor that's in good shape.
Right. You're very large.
Well, I'm tall.
Yes.
I'm tall, yeah.
But you're always in good shape.
I try.
I mean, you train every day.
Yeah, I do.
What got you into the training part of it?
Football, without a doubt. I've been playing football since I was 6, and then when I got into junior high, I had a coach that was influential, and he introduced me to weight training, and he said, this is really the vehicle to get you where you need to go, to put on the weight that you need to put on.
Right.
And that was, I guess, around 14.
And it worked.
And from that point on, I just started hammering it.
Where were you from?
Florida, Jacksonville, Florida.
You still go back and forth?
Yeah, as much as I can.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And then you came out here to get into acting?
Yeah, I had a change of life, I guess about 16, 17 years ago.
Is that menopause?
No.
No, I'm kidding.
And I was in theater all through college.
Yeah.
And I knew that was my dream. And then I'd forgotten about it. And I was working at Merrill Lynch at the time. And then I just said, it's not for me. And you have that emptiness whenever you're not doing what you feel as if you're meant to do. And then finally I just loaded up and headed out to Los Angeles.
It's funny, I talked to a guy this morning. He was leaving the gym, and he's got a passion to be an actor, and he's working a regular job. And I had a regular job a couple of times, and it just was not fulfilling at all. And the bodybuilding and the wrestling, of course, opened doors here and there and being on TV. But you're right, you got to go after what you want to go after, and it's not easy. And especially your size, you're limited to what they want to put you in, right?
Well, when I first came out, I said, okay, well, I'm going to be Brad Pitt, I'm going to be Tom Cruise, and I kept getting cast as.
But let me ask you a question: who was playing Kevin Porter?
Exactly. Well, there's people out there saying I'm going to be Kevin Porter.
Yeah, exactly.
But my manager at the time explained to me that there's this assumption that every leading man out there is 6 foot tall.
Right.
And so I'm 6'5", 6'6". So, and if Tom Cruise he's probably
5'6".
5'6".
Yeah.
And I'm a foot taller than him, then I'm going to look 7 feet on camera.
Right.
And if you're going to have a 7-foot guy there's got to be a reason. And he's going to be either a professional athlete, he's going to be a leg breaker, he's going to be a cop, he's going to be a Secret Service agent.
Exactly. And then they got to match up a woman.
Yeah.
And she's got to be tall.
If you're lucky enough to have a woman.
Well, years ago, yeah, if you're lucky enough.
Yeah.
Unless you're a rapist, and then you get one. Years ago, I remember Alan Ladd was a very famous actor, and he was very short. And so what they would do is they'd put women in trenches next to him, and him in higher heels, so they'd be the same height. You never saw the legs.
Yeah.
This is how they matched them up.
They did that with Michael Clark Duncan in Green Mile.
Did they?
Everyone else walked in trenches. I mean, he's a big man. I worked
Yeah.
with him on Daredevil. But they had Tom Hanks and everyone always walk in trenches next to him just to give him that a few extra inches.
It happens. I mean, and especially if you're a bodybuilder and getting into. We talked to. I had Paul Vincent on there. He does a lot of acting work. He does a lot of commercials. He's a little shorter, but he's thick, and he's got this voice, and he gets some work. But as bodybuilding, back when I started, we had the novelty shows, the variety shows like Flip Wilson, Cher, and all those. We all got called out to pose on stage. Well, I didn't want to do that. I'm sure you don't either. And so you try to find roles that fit you to your size, because what they'll say, like Dr. Ben Casey years ago, Vince Edwards, was a bodybuilder, and he was from the East Coast. He played Mr. America, and he went out to read for this doctor role, and it said, if I don't get this thing, I'm going back to New York. I'm done. And they hired him as Ben Casey because he had this attitude. But they also said, if you're playing a doctor on a show and you take your shirt off and you're a full-fledged bodybuilder, people are going to wonder, why do you have that body if you're a doctor? Where do you go to the gym and when you're on call all the time? So it's kind of weird how that works. So what was your first role?
What got me into the union was X-Files, and I played a motivational speaker. And I was called in. Rick Milliken did the casting on that, and it was a fluke that I was called in. But it also happened to me in my wheelhouse, because at Merrill Lynch I was in marketing, so I gave presentations every day. And so I walked in and I felt very comfortable in the role.
Sure.
And I was able to nail my first audition, which was X-Files.
That's a good show too.
It was a great show. It was a great show, and it opened some doors for me there.
What did you do after that?
After that, I had a string of guest stars and co-stars. It's funny, according to Jim, Friends, the Hughleys, everything from the early 2000s. Boom, 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 I was in. So I was very fortunate to get some good television work back then. Did Daredevil, which that was fortunate, and it was an amazing opportunity to work with Jennifer Garner and Michael Clark Duncan.
That was a fun movie.
It was a great movie.
Yeah.
And worked with a lot of really cool people. A lot of wrestling guys. We've got Horseshoe. Remember guy?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mattson, a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Just because when you're in that group of larger actors.
Actually, Matthew's been over here.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah,
very nice guy. And Christian Bovine was in that. And you all get to know each other, and and I don't ever consider it auditioning against anyone. You're auditioning basically not against yourself, but against yourself and with yourself. So
yeah.
The only competition is yourself and your ability to step up when you have that.
You got to be ready.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with how good or how poorly someone else does next to you. So whenever I'm with someone like Tyler Main, have you had Tyler?
I know Tyler very well.
Yeah,
I did a commercial back in Kansas when we first met, and we became friends. And he moved out here, and we hung out together all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. He was over here working out in my ring. I used him on a show, and all of a sudden he took off and started getting all kinds of stuff.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
and know him from the gym.
Yeah,
and we would audition alongside each other for many roles, and then he got X-Files. I didn't see
X-Men.
him X-Men, excuse me.
Sabretooth.
Yeah, and I didn't see him audition against me at that point. I guess at that point he'd gone on. But
well, he's almost 7 feet tall.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's like 6'11". He's got a twin brother.
Does he really?
Yeah, I met him.
Wow.
He's not built like him, but he's big.
Yeah.
And then I got a Tyler Main doll here somewhere that from the X-Files that he gave my daughter. He signed it because X-Men, because I keep saying X-Files. Because she would hang out with us and all that. So yeah, he's great.
Super guy.
But there again, I mean, a big guy like that, it's hard to find. He wanted to play leading roles and he couldn't because he was too big.
The manager said, "Listen, Kevin, your niche is going to be big guy, window dressing, stunt guy that can act.
Yeah,
and that's going to be your thing.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get the Tom Cruise roles. You're just not going to. And then as soon as at first, I took it as a blow to my ego, but it's not.
No,
it's just the reality of it. And the first thing that I tell a young actor when they come out here is to know your type. Know what you are.
Right.
Because if you don't know what you are, then you're just off there just chasing shadows.
Right.
So know what you are, know your type, perfect it, and then go after it.
Right.
So I said, okay, as soon as I was comfortable with that, then I was the best acting big guy that you can. Because there are a lot of big guys out there that can act.
Right. Well, the thing is, you don't want to be somebody else. You want to be you, because that somebody else is already taken.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't take their role; they're doing it. So you be the best you can be. So then when did you get DodgeBall?
DodgeBall was 04, and that was a stunt audition, and they were looking for
You got a friend here.
Yeah, hey pop. They were looking for athletes, professional, former professional, collegiate athletes, and so I went in. Alex Daniels.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, super guy. Was stunt coordinator for that. Went in, and it was it was definitely one of the best experiences that I've had on a feature film to date. The people that I got a chance to work with, and the exposure that it's gotten over the years, and it's not slowing down. It's bigger than it was 10 years ago.
It just snowballs.
Yeah, it's a cult.
What did you do? You did Punisher.
Yeah. There's an interesting community that they have out there that have not taken what the studios are giving as far as interpretations of their characters or their superheroes, and the media has gotten to the point to where we can create our own. And so I've done a series of, we'll call them independent superhero films, and have developed a wonderful group following of that, and The Punisher is one of them. And it's just us creating the character that we wish that we could see on screen.
Oh, that's really cool.
And they're very high-end, super high-end, and the following, as you've seen, is huge.
Yeah, I watched them. And the Batman?
Yes, same production company. It's Bat and the Sun, and they produce this series called Superpower Beatdowns, and it's almost like a versus, so a dream match, dream battle. And the most successful one to date is Batman versus Vader, and you can look it up.
I saw that too.
Yeah, just YouTube Batman Vader, and it pops up. It's been up since Thanksgiving, and it's close to 10 million hits right now. It's crazy and super high, and it's
that many hits.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, everything they do is huge, but this is their biggest to date.
Yeah,
right now.
Then you were doing live events.
About 12, 13, 14 years ago, I started working for DC Comics and Warner Brothers directly as their live appearance Batman.
Right.
So anywhere they needed Batman for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade or what have you, they would just send me out, wear the suit.
I remember.
And just...
weren't you on the Universal a lot too?
Yeah, I was Captain America at Universal Studios.
Universal, that's right.
When you live out here, the opportunities that you have to make money and to make a living at doing something that you're just passionate about and you love is incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. There's always a way for you to make a living out here if you're a true entertainer and if you've got the passion for it.
You can always find something. I knew a lot of guys work at Universal doing Conan.
Oh yeah.
And doing all those shows and doing like 3 shows a day. It was good money.
Still see him at the gym. Gary Casper. He did the Waterworld show.
Waterworld. There's still guys doing Waterworld. Conan went for a long time.
It did. What's Darren McBee?
Darren McBee as well.
Super guy. Paul Towns. I don't know if you remember Paul. Paul was at Gold's for a while. He was a Hercules and he did the Wild West Stunt Show out there. And when you're at Universal, it truly is a group of working actors. And if they're not on on set at Universal, they're on set for a feature film.
Yeah, it's competitive, you guys. I mean, it's something you want to do. You can certainly try. It is competitive, though. It's like everything else. There's auditions and auditions and auditions. Even to be a driver on the tram takes a lot of work. You got to memorize a whole book of stuff.
I know many people that have tried out to be a driver on a tram, and you just don't get it because the best of the best is out here in Los Angeles. Yeah. And they come here, and when they're not on the feature films, they're doing other things to make money, and that's driving a tram, which is a form of entertainment. It's a form of really honing your skills and getting your chops down.
You're a guide. And so you still train every day, and you train hard, like a bodybuilder.
That's right.
Pretty much the same routine.
Yeah.
How do you split that up in the gym? How do you split your body parts as far as days?
I do pushing and pulling. It's so funny because I think
I heard this pushing and pulling thing. It was on the door of a restaurant. It said push to open, pull to open.
Pull to open. Well, it's push on the right side, pull on the left side.
Well, it says if it doesn't push or pull, then we're not open.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
It's just old school, and I see the people doing all of the newer things. And, and I'm curious about it, but I mix up my workout, but check with the rubber balls and all of that, and Mark does some funky things.
He's in good shape.
He's in awesome shape.
Yeah.
And he does these things with these bowling pins. I don't know what they are.
They're heavy.
They're crazy. And I talk to him about it a lot. But
you got to have strong wrists and forearms for that.
yeah.
So you like the old school training?
Yeah, definitely.
And how's your nutrition? I see you eating out in restaurants all the time.
Well,
all the time. I see you 3 times a week.
Yeah, I mean, clean. It's clean.
Yeah.
So whenever you see me at Patty's, I'm eating egg whites.
Yeah, me too. I went there today. I had the skirt steak with egg whites and little brown rice.
Yeah.
Feel good when I eat like that.
Yeah.
I feel so much better.
Yeah, comfort foods are only comfortable while they're in your mouth.
Yeah, I want to add that this is the key to your mental health and your physical health. When you're in shape, you train hard and you eat good and you go out in the audition, you do the work, you feel good about yourself, you end up getting a job because your self-esteem's up.
Well, it gives you a bit of swagger, and anytime that you work out, the second you leave the gym, you feel successful. Even a bad workout, you feel like you've accomplished something.
I said this in my motivation video because getting up and going to the gym to me is like going to the office.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I do my work. This is where I work on myself. So when I leave the gym like you do and you go about your day, you feel like you've accomplished something, you've already got your day moving, and you get things accomplished and work out that way.
Well, when you see, and I say that there's no competition, you're only competing with yourself to a certain extent, but let's say a casting comes across and it's a male athlete, 6'6", super in shape or what have you.
Yeah.
And your agent is sending you out as he thinks that you should look, or as you used to look.
Yes.
And if you don't look like your pictures,
Right.
then you're going to get embarrassed. And there's nothing worse than standing in front of a casting director and you're with a bunch of people that look like you or better.
Right.
And then they say, "All righty, number 2, take your shirt off."
And you don't look at it.
And he's looking at the picture and he's looking at you. And then you see it in his face, and it's happened.
Yeah.
And that'll keep you on your game. It'll keep you away from the donuts.
They brought me in once, a long time ago, for a McDonald's thing, and they said, and I got there, and they said, "Oh, we don't want tattoos." And I said, "But you have my picture right there. It shows tattoos."
Yeah.
And I'm over here now, and I drove, and gas is $4 a gallon. I drove in 35 minutes to get here, and you're telling me you don't want me? Didn't you look at my picture to see that I had tattoos? In fact, I had done a McDonald's commercial prior with tattoos.
Yeah.
But this is the type of thing. They look at your photo, they look at you, and I did look like that, but they said, "You see right there what I look like. Why do you waste my time?" And they'll do that. It happens a lot.
Yeah. I had a situation where it was for Dillard's. It was catalog work, and they sent me all the way to Dallas for a photo shoot, and they wanted to cut my hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I mean, my hair's long, and my hair's right there in the picture." And they wanted to crew cut it.
Yeah.
And so
Speaking of that, you did J. Crew. That's what it was on Twitter.
J. Crew, good call.
Okay.
All right. So they wanted to crew cut it, and I said, "No, I can't do that. I will cut it to the length of that picture, but beyond that, it takes you out of the market."
This is true, you guys. It's really weird because you go out on an audition, and they'll say, "How married are you to the beard and the mustache? Will you shave it?" And I say, "No." Most 99% of the guys, "I'll do anything. I'll shave my hair, I'll shave my beard." No, I won't, because you saw my picture with this. This is what I look like.
Yeah.
And if I shave it off and I don't look like what you want, I don't have a job. And it takes me a whole month or 2 to grow it back. And what if I go home, my girl says, "Well, I didn't know you look like that. I'm breaking up with you."
Wow.
You know, I mean, it could happen,
Yeah.
right? It could
I guess
happen.
it could, yeah.
You know, you're not the same guy when you walk in the door. So no, I will not shave to do that.
I would if like with DodgeBall, my
Yeah.
hair was a lot longer, and they said would you cut it into a crew cut?
Yeah.
And Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn, it was a month's worth of work.
Oh, absolutely, on something
absolutely.
like that, of course. But when you have a facial hair, and I'm known as this, and this is what I wrestle as, why would I take it off for a job for one day's work, and when I might not even get it for an audition?
Oh, yeah.
It's just an audition. I didn't get the job yet.
Would they have you shave it for a callback?
They might have you.
Not in a million years.
No, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I won't do it.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
I agree.
What have you got coming up?
Wow. I go into production on a project called You Can't Have It. It's got an amazing cast. It's such a good part. It's Rob Gronkowski is in it from the Patriots, tight end for the Patriots, which is interesting. Lisa Ann Walter. We just signed a pretty big lead, which I just found out I can't announce right now, unfortunately. Okay. But it's a spy thriller, and it takes place over the course of one night in this bar. And it has distribution, and it's a nice project. Yeah, it's directed by Andre Gordon, which I've worked with before, The Wish Wizard, with Morgan Freeman. He directed that. Yeah, good friend of mine and amazing director. So
you had good things.
Yeah. 2014 was amazing, and I did a lot of those projects. I also did a pilot, and I'm still shooting that, called Fallen Cards. It's a post-apocalyptic western where I play the mayor of this corrupt mayor of this town. Very proud of that. And another another pilot called Taz Caden, and that's with Jason David Frank, Green Power Ranger. And that looks like it's going to be picked up by Machinima.
Good for you,
man. Online distribution there.
I'm glad you're keeping busy.
Yeah,
You got a good career. Still got a good career booming, and more to come.
What'd you say? Positive. Just stay positive. And like you said, sometimes when it dries up out there in the industry, if you keep the wheels pumping in the gym, or if you keep the positive energy, and where we work out, there's a lot of industry people there.
Yeah, our gym is full of people that are, we've had superstars in there, I mean, like really big, like Denzel Washington trained there, John Lithgow trained there.
Tim Allen.
Dr.
Dre.
Yep.
It's crazy. It really is. And it's not as if you're getting opportunities from them directly, but just being in the same room, the same energy, and just feeling.
Well, Michael Cullits is there every day from Walking Dead in Southland. He's there every day training with Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah. You've had is it Robert Patrick?
Robert Patrick. He's there every day too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. He's been
it's just it's a great opportunity to be around some really good successful people. There's no ego in that gym.
Not at all.
And you feel successful just being there.
Yeah.
And
you get leads.
Yeah, you do. Sometimes there's opportunities. I think a long time ago you passed on this lead to me, and it was this like Elvira character. I don't even know if you remember this. And she introduced like these horror films, and she would come in and she would play a scary movie, and in between there, she would have these cheesy introductions. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, it was it was a nice lead that you gave me, and it was I played a like a beefcakey role that was like feeding her grapes or something as she introduced the next creature feature.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh good. I'm glad that worked out.
It was fun. It was fun.
I want to remind all of you that I have my T-shirt line coming out probably within a week, and all these I have the original Gold's Gym T-shirt that I designed with my name on it, and plus other shirts, Panda's Gym in China, and I'm also in China and in the U.S. with all these designs. It'll be a website called Rick Drasin Originals. It's not released yet, but it'll be released in the next 10 days. So watch for it. You can order direct. It'll be shipped right to your door within 2 days. How about that one?
That's pretty good.
Fast,
2 days.
Huh?
That's
and
like
also,
you're printing it right there in the front yard.
Yeah, that's going to having everything done in China now, so it's all good. And also, I think it's next Friday, on the 20th, I have Dr. Richard Rodriguez, who owns a Wellness Fitness Nutrition, who actually is one of my sponsors and who I endorse with all the nutritional supplements I need and everybody needs to get a better body. He's a very smart man. He's got a wonderful company. He ships right away. He checks you out. You get a prescription. Everything's legal. It works well. Don't question it. I endorse it. It's a good product. He's a good guy. And he'll tell you all about his company and what his company does. Wellness Fitness Nutrition. Go on their website and look at it. They have a lot to offer. And I guess that's about it, but it's been nice having you here.
As always, it's good seeing you.
And maybe we'll do a follow-up on some of your other films when they come out and show clips. Is there anything else you want to add?
Well, no, you can follow me on Facebook at Kevin Porter Batman. It's a great page, very interactive, and Instagram at the Kevin Porter. And of course IMDb to keep up on what's going on.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
I'll see you in the gym, and I'll see you guys in Rick's Corner next time we're up. Okay? Stay tuned for more. Lots of good stuff coming your way.
It's rickdrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.